This PAL is the PAL merchant. You can buy PALs from it. Cool, right? Why are there torture machines in here? Is that bleach? Why the fuck do you have a guillotine? Like, anybody else getting like sus vibes? Hi there, got some great pals in stock. No funny business, only legal trading. As there's a fucking guillotine and torture chair in frame. Go ahead, God of the Dead. Build my shit for me. Good boy. Stick around for the fucking buffs.
I mean, it helps. It hits us no matter what.
Scotland forever! Oh yeah, I saw his Elden build back when he posted it on Twitter. It was dog shit. And then the funny thing about that is he got so like self-conscious at the fact of bullying him over his build that he paid somebody to go beat the game for him so he could post screenshots. Fucking, he's so fucking pathetic, man. I crave death. I need to set up a breeding farm. Let's set up a breeding farm. Oh, so where's my hat? This shit makes me look like fucking Neville from iCarly. Why the fuck does my hair look like this? And where's my goddamn hat? Like, I'm just like, I'm going to get you, Carly Shay. You know that the guy who played him? He's like now a fucking like financial advisor. He goes on like Fox Business and shit. Like, it's like fucking wild. Am I right? Jesus Christ! Where are you running? The sea will just drown you. Come back and get on my balls. Come on. They're gone. Bye. Oh, there's an arm wrestling barrel. That's cool.
What do you think they do there?
Touch each other.
Damn it.
What do we press?
B.
Damn. That's bait.
Let's just go do the quest, alright?
Oh, I haven't been over here. This is pretty. Ooh, this is nice. What the fuck are those? A B-God. Damn, we're in a level 20 zone already? Sheesh. I want to go up there. What the fuck is up there? And it's Dark Magician. It's not going to OTK me this turn. Have a little faith in me.
With how many times I've seen you fuck up perfectly easy shit, no.
Fair point. I top decked another enemy controller.
So you lose.
Jara.
Yeah?
When is this deck supposed to be fun?
I mean, to be fair, you had a perfectly good hand last time. You just fucking suck shit.
Wait, I don't need to do this. Work, handiwork slave, Anubis. I don't need to work. You work. That is not my job. Good boy. I like my moo cow. Mozzarella moo cow. Mozzarella moo cow. Moo, 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 boy, moo, moo. You were a pain in the ass to find, you adorable little shit.
Fucker. Lord.
Oh.
Ooh. What happened?
He sat on me.
Hmm.
These Free Pal Alliance cocksuckers are a pain in the ass.
The PETA.
Yeah, they're PETA. I actually added PETA on Twitter and asked them, "Hey, what's your guys' opinion of the recent release of Power World?" Thinking it would I'd get some unhinged crazy fucking vegan response, and then just link me a fucking bullshit PR thing that about Power World, and I'm like, man, y'all are no fun anymore. Whatever happened to PETA being the unhinged lunatics that they used to be? Can't have shit in Detroit. I mean, yeah, it was the finale of a decade. I mean, Endgame was better than Infinity War. I mean, yeah, Endgame was the culmination of a 10-year plan of storytelling across movies and TV shows. And Infinity War was the movie before that to set up all the events of Endgame. I mean, that probably that's of course Infinity War was going to be better than Endgame. Is Spooksy said, is there a difference between a rock and a stone? I don't know, Spooked, but all I do know is that if you don't rock and stone, you ain't going home. That was a bug. That was absolutely a fucking bug. What the fuck was that? Favorite race in Skyrim? What's my favorite Elder Scrolls race? I like the Dark Elves a lot. I think the aesthetics of and how alien their culture is compared to any real world counterparts, I think is very intriguing. I like how alien and different Morrowind is as a province compared to all the other provinces of Tamriel. I have a general disdain for how exclusionary and evil their culture is, but I also like it in the same way. I like the Dark Elves in the same way I like Warhammer 40k. They suck and they're kind of evil, but being evil's kind of badass. So I don't know. It's I find that kind of an interesting concept. I like the Dark Elves because they're evil.
Wizard.
You know,
You do not have the heart of a warrior.
I think the Imperium of Man's really fucking cool, even though it's a fascistic shithole empire. But I feel the same with the Telvanni, which is my favorite house in. They're just so fucking evil and terrible and awful, but they're so pompous, arrogant, and their aesthetics are so fucking cool, and there's just so alien compared to anything else in fiction that I don't know. I dig it, and I can't explain why. The reason I like dogs more is that I think dogs just love their owners more than cats, because dogs, well, my dog now, Rip Felicity, have always loved me more because my cats were just... Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. My cats love me, too. My cat, Momichi, he loves me. Here's the thing. Cats and dogs show affection in different ways, and also not all dogs are, jumping to, love on you and show you affection. Many are, but not all, and the same thing with cats. Not all cats are, aloof tigers that don't enjoy fucking spending time with you. A lot of some of them definitely are, but a lot of them will come up and ask for pets and nuzzle you and love on you, and cats are very, very much really sweet and lovely animals to have. They're clean, they're soft, they're cute. I have plenty of TikToks and YouTube shorts showing how adorable Momichi is, my cat. But Nah, I think I'm a dog and a cat person. I love both. They're all great. Yeah, which is like that's the thing though. It's like that's the other thing. Like I really like the super heavy cards. I at least like the super heavy cards are currently busted at the moment. But like even so, like I'm actually not as upset with the super heavy cards being a problem right now because we didn't really get a chance to play with them at all in the TCG. And Master Duel, as we all know, is dog shit when it comes to like updating their ban list and like actually hitting things like it with regular abandon. So because the fucking OCG reigns supreme and that informs the ban list more than anything else, unfortunately. But even so, having the new super heavy samurai cards, I think I'm hoping that they ban them quicker than they hit all the shit to Cash Tira, but not so fast that we don't get to, enjoy the decks like more than we were able to compared to in the TCG, because we just didn't get to. I would be very, very... I don't know how old you are, Spooked. I wouldn't visit your family in Russia if you are anywhere near close to like adulthood or fighting age, because they will conscript you. The Russian government will take you from your family and they will force you onto the front lines. So I definitely go see your family, but like, only if you're still like a 13, 14-year-old kid. Like otherwise, like they very well might just kind of fuck you, if I'm being honest. Because the war in Ukraine is going bad. They are losing lots of men every day. And the last thing I need is to have one of my favorite fucking viewers in a Russian trench getting shot at by a Bradley. NVIDIA. Although spiritually I support AMD more. I only stick with NVIDIA because that's what I know. Like I know their specs. Like if I hear a number, I know what it means off the top of my head. I don't know that with AMD, and that's put me at a disadvantage because I'd love to get an AMD card instead of a fucking NVIDIA card. But thus is my suffering. Whatever happened to Pirate 101? It's still around. You can still play it. It still exists, and it's still getting updates. It never went anywhere. It's like Wizard 101. People just kept playing it, and they kept supporting it. Yeah. I mean, I was surprised Wizard 101 has had an expansion every a couple expansions a year, every year like clockwork over the last decade. So, the fact that Pirate 101 is still kicking doesn't surprise me either. You guys eat McDonald's for breakfast? Only when I have money and I'm depressed. That's the only time I eat McDonald's for breakfast. And not since October 7th, because fucking McDonald's is fucking supporting, genocide in Palestine. So, nah, I don't anymore. How many versions of Skyrim are there? That's a good question. Let's ask that question, shall we? How many versions of Skyrim are there? 2023. There are only 2 real versions of Skyrim: the original 2011 release, the 2016 special edition. All right. Every version of the game that's been released. We're going to go to Game Rant because that's probably going to give me a much more room. We got Skyrim for the Xbox 360, PS3, so we have original 2011 release. We have the special edition release. We have Skyrim on the Switch, which is its own unique build, which I will give them that. The very special edition, which is the Amazon Echo, which is just the text-speech RPG that you can play. So that's 4. And then you have the anniversary edition, which is 5. So there are 5, and then you have VR, which is 6. So there's 6 versions of Skyrim you can buy and play. That is a lot of Skyrim. I don't like Skyrim that much. I'm like, how do I say this? I don't know. The worst mix of countries, I'm around 85% sound like 3 people we know exists, and I'm 50% Russian because, oh my grandma, I don't even have to explain why being Russian is bad. The Russian people are not bad. The Russian people are victims of 20 years of plus of autocracy, and even the Soviet Union, like after Lenin was killed, was just completely devolved into, you know, a state capitalist, authoritarian, autocratous hell state. So, like, the Russian people haven't had dominion over their future in ever, actually. They haven't had a real democracy. They haven't had, like, any of that. They were serfs under Tsarist Russia first. Then they were effectively still enslaved under Peter's Russia, or Nicholas's Russia, and then the Soviet Union happened, and they turned into they were just again made into cogs in the machine. Was it better? Was their life better than under serfdom? Sure, but it was not. But like, it wasn't a real democracy, like, comparatively. Like, you know, they didn't have the real choice. It was sure that things were better than they used to be, but as time went on, like, life was only good in the USSR if you lived in Moscow. If you lived in any, like, like further out in the country or in any of the satellite states, you were fucked. And then after the USSR collapsed, you know, and Yeltsin was completely ineffective, and the US really fucked him with shock doctrine. Putin took over and basically turned Russia into a theocratic fascist hell state. Again, like, the Russian people have never had a fucking chance. Like, fuckheads have been doing shit, like, taking their rights away and removing their autonomy for, like, forever. So, and it's not your and I honestly wouldn't give it. It wouldn't be their. It's not their fault. It's the fault of the leadership and greed and authoritarianism that has permeated them for years. And while some might argue that the Russian people are, like, more predisposed to, like, authoritarianism because that's all they've ever fucking known, I think that's kind of hogwash. And, you know, people deserve democracy is the best system we've come up with so far for governance, and they deserve it as well. Period. I mean, yeah, Wizard 101 was more popular because it came first and it had an already established customer base. Wizard 101, I think its biggest fucking issue is that they should have just made everything in Wizard City free. Like, the fact that they fucking made all, like, at this point, Wizard City, Krokotopia, Marleybone, Mushu, and Dragonspire, all the way up to level 50, that shit should all be free. Because all of that content is a decade old. And the fact that the only free areas for non-paid players is still just Wizard City, like, some parts of it, like the main, like the Commons, Golem Tower, Unicorn Way, Triton Avenue. That's it. And that's fucking inappropriate. The fact that that's all that's still available after a decade, almost a decade and a half of this game existing, they just want it to die at this point. And nobody's going to play it if that is the level of content that you're allowed to play. The Josh Strive Hayes video on it was fucking heinous in regards to, like, he had a lot of great things to say until he hit the fucking wall. See, here's the thing you got to remember about the Elder Scrolls series. The thing that the Elder Scrolls...
A challenger? Don't you know you are already beaten?
Here's the thing you gotta remember, right, about the Elder Scrolls series. The Elder Scrolls series has hit or miss quest design, hit or miss character writing, hit or miss quest and story writing, but does one thing very, very well. The Bethesda and the Elder Scrolls series and the worlds that Bethesda creates, by and large, minus, you know, things, the recent entries like Starfield, and especially Fallout 76, even though I would argue Starfield, depending on the context on some level, the fact of the matter is that Bethesda is able to make games that are very, very fun at, getting lost in. You want to exist in this world in some way. It's fun. It's a romp. It has the sandboxiness, enough sandboxiness to let you do what you want. You don't get a lot of there is the problem of illusion of choice in regards to, there aren't a lot of quest outcomes, certainly compared to something amazing like Baldur's Gate 3. But as far as like personal choice in terms of how you go about things, playing with the world is your toy box that you can do what you want with, and you get lost in it in regards to like just escapism. That is what Bethesda games do very well, arguably better than most other studios. When Bethesda games drop, most people stop what they're doing and play them. That's because they are good games, they are bad RPGs. And they aren't for everybody. Their game design philosophy as it exists today is absolutely dated. I've talked about this at length in other videos on the YouTube channel. But, hopefully, I did see some changes that they did with Starfield that felt really, really good. The actual narrative in regards to the characters, the world building was a lot tighter than it used to be. The mechanics of the game and the systems that they had created were significantly better than they used to be as well. But by and large, is the Elder Scrolls series overrated? Should it have as much hype around it as it should? Mainly all that because of Skyrim. I'd argue no. I enjoy them, and I think they're a great game series for what they offer. But I don't play the Elder Scrolls games to role play or have fun. I play, shit like Baldur's Gate 3 for that. It is a fun, fantastical world that resonates with lots of people, including me, that has high fantasy, but that is a fantasy world that is medium fantasy. It's not high fantasy like something like Final Fantasy XIV or Phantasy Star Online, and it's not low fantasy like something like Darkest Dungeon or it's like Lord of the Rings level of fantastical, where people exist day to day, and there's fantastical bullshit, but the average day to day person doesn't have to deal with that. You know what I mean? It exists in the world and it's there, but it's not something you're always thinking about. But yeah, but the Elder Scrolls series is very, very good and definitely worth your time. And I don't think it's overrated in the sense that it probably shouldn't be as popular, and it's not for everybody, and it's probably expounded past the consumer base that should have it. But I don't think it's it's a quote unquote bad series. Here, let me show y'all a fucking picture that my a buddy of mine threw up in our group chat. That's Palworld. For anybody who is questioning what Palworld is, that's Palworld. Or that can be Palworld. You actually don't have to abuse the pals, but it's kind of funny when you do, I guess, a little bit. I don't like doing it because it makes me feel bad, but it is funny to see other people being unhinged demons about it. If you ever come to Estonia and manage to survive the racist kids here, then go to Hesburger. It's basically McDonald's, but better. I'm sure it's better. European countries, and just countries all over the world in general, tend to have better standards for food for the people. But as far as surviving the racist kids here, I need you to understand something, Spooked. Teenage boys are very easy to deal with. See, they'll be mean and they'll be bullied, but all you have to do is just do what Hannibal Buress suggests. You just accuse them of masturbating at any point. And watch them fold and I never masturbated. I never done it. And it's funny as shit because because teenagers are stupid. I was stupid. We all were stupid. And in a more puritanical country like Estonia, of course there absolutely be about it. Or I'll just start calling him, hey, Top G, just making fun of him on some Andrew, making fun of the Andrew Tate manosphere bullshit, like make it sound like it's stupid, or just laugh at them. Teenagers, period. If you just start laughing at them, they cannot handle it. If they just say something stupid to me, I just start laughing at them like harder, just progressively, and they just get embarrassed and they can't. The kids are all right, and kids can be mean as shit. But the fact of the matter is that kids are also stupid. And when in adult, and I didn't believe it when I was a teenager that adults are smarter than them. In a lot of cases, we aren't. But like in certain regards, abso-fucking-lutely. Also, I'm also Gen Z. I'm fucking unhinged and mean as shit. So I will say something about your mama, and when you try to jump me, I'm going to punch you. I'm gonna punch you in the dick. Like that's what that's them's the rules. That better lives than us. I mean, maybe, but like. You also have to remember that the American existence is, like, lonely as shit. Yeah, we may have, like, cheap goods that are expensive in your country.
Hey, Wizard, you have won. Although I won't
but,
say you didn't do it through trickery. Take your reward.
Just because we're able to, like, get McDonald's for breakfast and shit or whatever doesn't mean we're living a good life. Like, 62% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and we also don't have a government that like pays for like social services for us and goes out of its way not to, and we also don't have any community. There's no third space and there's no community. Your parents kick you out of the house at age 18, and they only expect you to come back and visit for holidays, if you're lucky, and that's if your parents are like normal and aren't fucking off when you don't want to talk to them. Like, there's generally like. It's all kind of shit here, if I'm being honest. Now, we may have, like, cheap food and plentiful access to food, for sure. But, like, you know... America is very much not the golden city on a hill everybody thinks it is. Y'all have shit that we wish we had. Nah, you wouldn't. The PS4 would be too devalued at that point. Alright, I'm ready. What the fuck is that mount? Did it just have you in its fucking backpack? God, the mounts in this game are insane. Burb. Man. Oh, he's a goblin. Gobble, 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 gobble. Have I tried Prime? No. I'm not a big energy drink guy by and large. I might drink a Gatorade now and again, and if I do get like an energy drink that you would get for like that isn't like Monster or Red Bull, I'd probably get like GamerSupps just because, you know, their quality of product is actually pretty damn good. I actually have a review of a couple GamerSupps products on my channel. Yeah, it's good. I like GamerSupps. I've never tried Prime, and I'm probably not going to. I don't like the Paul Brothers. KSI I'm indifferent about, but yeah, I don't like the Paul Brothers. What is the most overrated game series ever? Couple. But I'd have to say that the one that is the most overrated has to now be Call of Duty. Call of Duty didn't used to be overrated. It is now overrated. It is basically a shell to stuff in whatever is popular for the moment. Now, I want to be clear. I'm somebody who enjoys shooters. I like shooters in games that involve their first-person shooters. I think that the gameplay mechanics of Call of Duty, the shooting mechanics, are tight and they're fun. The problem is that Call of Duty has no soul anymore. It used to make strong political statements in its story. It used to have verbose gameplay that was very popular. Now it is very much a shell of its former self. It is a corpse that is constantly being trot out Weekend at Bernie style by Activision Blizzard for the purposes of printing money. It is popular because people play it. It is popular because, because it exists. Unfortunately, it is not what it used to be, and that is very sad. I honestly thought that after all the hits to Runic, the stun version of the deck wouldn't work, and I was proved wrong. Yeah, no, unfortunately, stun is the least affected by the hits to Runic. Runic as an engine has kind of been flubbed at this point. I was actually experimenting with a more modern version of Runic Plunder Patrol, and I kind of had to throw that under the bus simply because of all the hits to Runic. Because, like, Runic's not a bad engine, all things considered, if you have the deck that can fit with it. But unfortunately, because of people being degenerate and like degenerate stun decks and being fucking awful human beings that don't like fun, none of us can have nice things. So blame the fucking motherfuckers that main deck Inspector Border or some shit. Fuck them. Dragonborn versus the Tarnished. I mean, here, like, if it's just one fight, Dragonborn. If it's like until the other person goes down, it's the Tarnish, because the Tarnish like wins every time because of just pure war of attrition. Like that them's the rules. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how strong the Dragonborn is. Tarnish, if the Tarnish can come back and then beat their head against that brick wall, like that's GG. Couldn't get into it. Here's the thing, like let me put a pin in this. Let me get into a battle. I'll show you, and I'll show you why, like, why this should be lit. All right, let's go to Colossus Boulevard. All right, so check this out. Little triangle indicator, that's what determines whose turn it is. It points at you, and each one of the circles has a little symbol in front of it denoting who is attacking what. Let me summon a Cyclops to help me so I can show you some other stuff too. Alright, summoning my Cyclops. Alright, so this guy passed turn, so it immediately went to the secondary Gobbler Scavenger. Alright, whoever it's pointing at goes first. This circle here and this circle here always go first on each opposing side, and wherever it's pointing, those are the people who go first that turn. If you look, my ally here is going to be playing this spell. With it has a knife diamond with that. Well, where's the knife diamond? It's right here, and that's how you signify it. I'm going to activate a Myth Blade. The Myth Blades are which circle around the top of you. These buff your attacks. These are about attacking. Whether it's increasing your attack, increasing your accuracy, or your opponent can also put debuffs, decreasing your attack and decreasing your accuracy. The actual notion of like what is being boosted can be shown by the color. The color profile of the different schools. Myth's color profile is aqua, blue, and yellow. So you can tell at a glance that shield boosts Myth. And then that shield right down there, that is the basis for your defense. If a shield looks like this tower shield here that I'm about to summon, it usually means that will increase do defense. And how do you know if a thing is a buff or a debuff? Well, if it has those little spikes on the side like that shield you just saw had, what happens is that denotes at a glance that is a debuff. Meanwhile, the ones that don't have them are buffs. Cool, right? There's unlike Yu-Gi-Oh, which has a lot of like text on it and explains everything explicitly. This is a lot more like Magic, which uses symbols and simple words to denote what things happen. So, for example, let's take this. This does myth damage, which can be denoted by the little myth symbol, and the punch means that it's an attack. So we're going to hit my opponent with this, because this is denoted as an attack. Hearts, hearts denote healing. And so like if you use a healing spell, like you can tell because it says heals X amount or a percentage for this much. You have resources, you get pips every turn. You get normal pips, which are white, and then you get yellow pips, which are blue, which are yellow, which are worth 2 white pips. The game itself is like once you like get over some shit, it's actually a fairly straightforward game, and you stop thinking about it as an MMO and start thinking about it more as like a card game, and it's a lot of fun. Definitely worth giving a shot. And you can't think about it as like as an MMORPG. I mean, which it is one, but you can't think about combat as like combat in a traditional sense of like a World of Warcraft or Elder Scrolls Online. You have to think about it as like, oh, you just ran into somebody and now you're having a match. It's pretty fun and it's pretty cool in that regard. Tree, big tree, Bartleby, tree, big tree, Bartleby, big tree, Bartleby, big tree, Bartleby. Big tree, Bartleby, big tree, Bartleby, big tree, Bartleby. How the fuck did you get up there? What the fuck is happening in this? Yes, your sanity is at 56. Of course it's at 56. You're standing on the side of a fucking cliff. How the fuck did you get up there? I cannot butcher all of you. You are worthless to me. Useless! I am selling you, for that is all you are worth. People mean nothing. Pals are everything! Now give me my 5 grand in gold. Yeah.